Cheers, Squaffle and all of the good people out there. Hopswatch here, back with the after party after a really awesome live stream with Aron Ra. Thank you for participating once again, Aron.
My pleasure.
Welcome, Godless Gummer. Welcome, Peter the Tucker. And we'll see if anyone else pops in anytime. So
somebody mentioned that we have all the long-haired guys on YouTube, so we're just missing
that.
Neil 604. So if you happen to be out there, Neil.
Neil, we need you. Need more long-haired guys. Maybe he didn't come back from work yet. Time zones are a female dog, aren't they?
Kai, Dog Bother wants to come in. Want me to shoot him the link?
Yes. Let's get him in.
Okay.
So actually, because I found myself another couple of really heavy and dark stouts. This one is from Beard Brew, local-ish brewery. Well, the town is actually 100 kilometers or so away, but that's local for Aron, I guess. The distances in the States are a bit bigger than in Denmark. And I've got this one from my favorite brewery the favorite brewery's name is called Amager Bryghus. This is the Black Donald, a smoked imperial stout. I think it's 10% or 11. It's actually 11. Anyway, but however,
where did you say that came from?
Amager Bryghus. The Amager Brewery. Amager is spelled Amager. That's Danish for you.
Okay, so that's a Danish beer?
It is a Danish beer, and this one is as well from Beard Brew. They have an English name. And this one would be my favorite brewery in the whole world. And they made the best beer that I have ever tried, the Big, Bold, and Beautiful. And I can say that already now. I'm going to have a birthday live stream on the 6th of November, where I will drink the last Big, Bold, and Beautiful that I bought. It's 18%.
Outstanding. If only you were coming to Dallas. We can make a week of it. Going to different local microbreweries.
I had saved it for DaveCon actually, but that was cancelled because of COVID.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to risk it going bad. So now I want to have it. I'm going to have it on my birthday.
I'm not sure. Obviously. In a little way, I'm obviously sad DaveCon was cancelled, but at the same time, Worley had roped me into doing something there, which I'm kind of glad I got out of. So,
right,
I think I was going to be going around with the microphone in the crowd or something, to hand off to people who want to ask questions. So
I love when people come to Dallas, from especially out of the country or places like that where there's not where the more culture shock the better, and we can take them to not just the local breweries to try the local wares and all that, but also to some of the restaurants that we like to go to, because there's a few good ones. And when they did a what was it called, Faithless Forum was here in Dallas a couple of years back, and the last one before everything got canceled for COVID. And I managed to get everybody that was going to Faithless Forum, all the speakers and everything. I managed to get him into one of my favorite restaurants for crab's legs. It's a Cajun Vietnamese fusion sauce that they boil this crab in, and they're huge snow crab and king crab legs like this, and it's boiled in a ghost pepper sauce.
Wow.
So it's really hot. Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hey, Dave.
Unfortunately, most of them were vegetarians.
Peter, did you throw a dog butter the link?
Already have. He
Okay.
needs to check Twitter. He's got the link on Twitter.
Ah, right. Okay. So I poured myself a pale beer because these came right out of the fridge and they need some temperature before they taste properly. So now I actually got my favorite pale standard lager, which is called. See if I can get a clear view there. There you go. Hugo Bayer, and that's from one of the neighboring towns up here. A beer brewed entirely on Sasa hops, which is the traditional Czech hops, and that's one of the hallmarks of this brewery. It's called the Hancock Brewery. That they only use traditional Czech Sasa hops. And it actually gives this, which is just a pale lager, a more spicy and more sharp hopsy flavor to it.
I feel like I'm really letting the side down tonight, seeing as I've only got Stella Artois and no decent beer. But
he doesn't even qualify as beer.
Yeah, I'm using the term beer loosely there.
Yeah. Peter called it Belgian water.
Yes. Sewer water.
So, Aron, did you actually ever try some? How about sour beers? Did you ever try any sour beers? Or any of you?
I tried a local craft beer that was meant to taste like pickles.
Okay. I'm a pickle, Rick.
Yeah, that was pretty awful. Matter of fact, I think I still have 2 cans of it in my beer fridge.
Interesting.
If I could just pass it through the screen, you're welcome to it.
Is there ever a novelty beer that actually tastes any good?
All of them. That I have. I mean, the ones I just showed, I still have some in my fridge. That I've got a lot of interesting ones. Hold on a second.
Yeah, look out, dog.
Sure. Kai, can you check backstage?
Yeah, he's not in there
Brother...
yet. Yeah, I've got the backstage here on my screen, and he's still not appearing.
He said he's in and he can see us. So.
That's interesting. Okay. Maybe it's StreamYard being slow again. So I'll just refresh, which means I'll just jump out for a sec and return. Okay.
Okay.
So while he's gone, I have this from AleSmith, Philosophy and Velocity. And that, I think, is a 14% pint.
And
this is
I still don't see Dark Bother in there. Oh, there he is. There he is. Yes.
Hello, guys.
Beer.
Okay, let's see what we've got there. Okay. So that was the sour beer.
Yeah. This is the sour beer that is spicy pickle beer. It's actually made to taste like drinking pickle vinegar.
Yeah. Okay.
And I got this one is a 14% ABV.
Okay. Bourbon Muerte.
Bonbon de la Muerte, and it's by a brewery called Oddside.
Okay. But that's not is that also a sour beer?
Oh, no. This is another stout. I mean, most of my fridge is just stouts.
Okay. I have to say, I really like sour beers. I've developed a taste for that. And this is my guilty pleasure. I really enjoy Kriek and other Belgian fruit beers, which are based on sour beers.
I don't mind a good Kriek.
Have you tried Malt Subite, Jeff?
No, I haven't.
Malt Subite Kriek, that's the best Kriek I've tried. But get it from, and it's decent from bottle, but if you ever get the chance, get it on tab. If you're ever in Belgium, get Malt Subite Kriek on tab. absolutely delicious.
Yeah. Well, in town I live in, there is actually a bar that is bar called Belgium in Blues. It sells loads of different kinds of Belgian a lot of fruit beers, but but loads of different like Belgian beers or something that we don't really get in the UK. But they got a couple of creeks on tap there, but I don't think they got that one.
You should try some of those. Creek is I mean,
well, I sometimes order because there's a company I'm actually waiting on an order at the moment from a company who orders beer from called Beerwolf. But I'm actually waiting on some at the moment, which should be here by the weekend hopefully, and can have some decent beers again. Unfortunately, just unfortunately, because I was out of decent beers, just had to go to the shop and buy Stella Artois, which is about the best they had.
Oh, wife beater.
Yeah,
That's what we call that.
Yes, I have no idea where that nickname came from, but
it's hard to source good beers in the UK, unfortunately. But I'm stuck on ciders at the moment, and it's nice to meet you guys. I didn't know I was going to come into the show. I mean, some of you, obviously, Aron's a legend. I know Jeff. I watch him about. Dave, I follow him about, and obviously Hopswatch. Nice to meet you finally.
I'm going to say you've probably watched me getting drunk on Dave's streams a few times.
As I say, I was on YouTube happily watching you guys get pickled. Starting to slay your wares. That was doing me all right. But here I am. I'm in the show. It's great to see. It's great to be talking with you guys.
Oh, it's great to meet you, mate.
It's better than talking to the idiot on Twitter, isn't it, Doc?
Yeah.
Mate,
where
come on.
Everybody? I mean, I'm in Dallas, Texas. Hopswatch is in rural
Denmark.
Netherlands.
No, Denmark.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Why do I keep doing that?
It's
So
I did tell you, it's the bland Netherlands. So no wonder you're getting them confused.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so we have Denmark, the Netherlands, the US, and the UK represented here. It's a good international flavour to this stream.
There is. I love that.
To be fair, I think Denmark has the better scenery. I've been there a couple of times, so
we've got some fantastic scenery if you get out the cities.
Yeah.
But because Hopswatch said there was a bland Netherlands.
Because we don't have weed. Weed is bad in Denmark.
You do have an extremely nice population. I've visited a couple of countries. I don't think I've come across people who are nicer than the people in Denmark.
You obviously met some very specific and out of character people.
Just random people. I got lost, and there was an old guy standing on the side of the road, and I couldn't speak Danish. He couldn't speak. The only thing that I know is German, English, and Dutch. He couldn't speak any of those. So with the paperwork that I had, where I had to drop off goods, I showed him the address, and he just pointed to the car and to open the door. So he hopped in, and we drove for about half an hour, and to where I needed to be. And he walked back. He didn't want me to bring him back. He said,
"Wow,
okay, I'll walk back." Okay.
Wow.
I have to say to Peter as well. We've tag teamed a few dodgy theists on the old Twitter.
Yeah.
It's always been fun.
Yeah.
But it's your fault. You retweet the most disturbing, stupidest theist on planet Earth. I don't know where you're getting from. You just seem to. You're like a magnet to idiots.
They find
which
me.
I don't mind.
They find me.
Well,
the one that you're talking about. So my co-host Artie was talking to him, and he tagged me in and said, "Come on the show." And so he wanted to come on the show, and he turned out to be a complete idiot.
Is this a lawyer guy?
Yes, and so I said it's not going to happen. Now he wants to sue me because I had agreed to have him on the show, and I'm no longer doing that. And he has pulled up a few cases in the U.S. One was Whoopi Goldberg, the other one was Kim Basinger, and that's probably to scare me because he's going to sue for money because I'm not going to have him on the show.
Yeah.
I didn't even
It's
know
all
we
one
were.
big bum fight, mate.
I must have missed
Oh
something
boy!
important.
And I
What-
thought the flat earther I was dealing with yesterday was something else. But no, I think you guys take the cake.
What did Whoopi Goldberg and Kim Basinger
Well,
have to do with?
Oh, and so they both agreed. They had an oral agreement to do a movie and then pulled back and said they weren't going to do it. And I looked at the Whoopi Goldberg case, and she actually was sued for not doing the movie. I didn't bother to check.
But I'm assuming she signed a contract.
No. It was an oral agreement.
Can you bring them close to that?
Just a minute.
So
I recognise that voice.
Okay.
The Twitter's just one big bun fight. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Twitter's a dumpster fire. It absolutely
It
is.
Yeah, you have to enjoy
I
it.
do,
You
I
have to
like-
take it for what it is and enjoy it.
Mm.
Of course.
Otherwise you will kill yourself.
I hate to bring back, but that flat earther I dealt with yesterday, who was I can't even remember what it was he was trying to even actually ask us to demonstrate, but I do remember the quote of him saying just listen to what he said. He wanted us to use geometry to demonstrate something, but not mathematics.
Yeah.
Just let that sink in for a moment.
I got a like off Steve McRae for that, and I don't know why. I'm sure I blocked him a while
I
back
think-
because he's a moron.
Well,
Well, I shouldn't say that. I just don't agree with what he gets on with.
I'll say I'm probably the only guy in this room that gets on with him, but
I get on with Steve
well,
totally.
you
fine.
get on with it. You get on with him, but
There's a few of you get
goddamn,
on with him.
I'm not going to die on that.
I've
bloody
never
I
hill
don't
discussed
agree
stand
with him
hill.
at all, but I get on with
No.
him.
Well,
I've never
I made the
discussed
block
with him.
list,
I
but then I
kind of
must be off
understand.
it.
Yeah.
I kind of understand why people get pissed with him, but I
I
decided
totally
never to engage in a discussion with him, so
Yes,
that
that's the
It's
thing.
the best.
Never.
That's a good move. Good move.
That's how I
really good idea.
Good move.
oh
Yeah.
But Jeff mentioned the flat earther. Aron, you did two
Right.
shows with a flat earther.
Oh,
I don't think
Ah.
I've ever seen you as patient as you were with this particular guy.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
I'm curious. Say that again.
I was gonna
I
say-
said I saw you do two shows with a flat earther, and I don't think I've ever seen you as patient on a show with a guest.
For the first 4 hours, I thought that the person I was dealing with was just incredibly stupid. And it wasn't until the last few minutes that I realized that yes, he is incredibly stupid, but he's also dishonest.
Yeah,
I do.
Oh.
I was going to say, Aaron, I do remember you had a. I think you a couple of years. Didn't you have a run in with Jism?
Yeah, I've been trying to promote Chisholm. I've been several times. Every time I come up, I tell them that they should have Kent Hovind.
yes,
The most dishonest man on the internet.
we want to see that discussion. We want to see that live stream.
Well, it'd be good because actually, technically, if they debated flat Earth, Ken Hovind could actually win that using science. Believe it or not.
Good if he knew how to use science.
Yeah.
To be fair, neither side does. They'll literally be talking garbage at each other and think they're winning.
But how funny would that be?
I mean, Jerinism, like he doesn't, but he knows the blooming Earth's a globe. He's full of shit. He's just He's a Poe. You know.
Well, I think most of them are.
Yeah.
I got to talk to, before he killed himself, I got to talk to Mad Mike.
No, I never got to speak. I always heard he was a really nice guy, actually, but
Yeah, he told me that he didn't trust science. And I said, what the hell you mean you don't trust science? You're not supposed to trust science. You're supposed to test science. And look at you. You built a goddamn rocket ship. You are the demonstration of science.
If he only had tested his parachute.
Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy. Really.
People said he
I
was,
don't know.
people said he was so nice.
Embodiment of what science is. And this is what the way you should go down in history is that you built your own goddamn rocket ship, and that's how you should be remembered, not as the guy who tried to disprove what we all know to be a fact.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you guys think of cider?
Cider.
I like cider.
I don't mind
I
doing cider.
beer. I actually
I
can't
can-
beer.
I can drink cider.
I'm stuck.
I might still have some of the dark side in my beer fridge.
Ooh, I do. I'm stuck with it at the moment because I'm post-stroke, you see. So nothing heavy for me.
Okay.
Well, I've got my voice back.
A friend of mine had a bunch of
So
strokes.
I'm not. Don't want to down. I'm trying to down the party here.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to down it slightly.
Sorry, Aron?
I was going to. Go
Go
on.
ahead.
No. You were stuck on the cider, and I'm going to distract it.
I said that a friend of mine had a bunch of strokes in like close succession, and I went to go visit him for the first time in a long time. I said, I'm going to bring some steaks, and I'm going to bring some really good beer. And he says, well, two problems. I can't have alcohol, and I can't taste anything anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, I still can't taste anything. I've just about got my speech back. I can walk. I actually had my stroke in December in Brooklyn, in New York.
Okay.
Which was and they were brilliant. And they got me out just before all the lockdowns came in. Got me home.
Yeah.
But I love America. It's a brilliant place.
One can hear that you're not from Brooklyn originally.
No. I'm an advertising psychologist, believe it or not. It's a pretty bad job, but it pays well. And I was over there on business.
Right. Okay.
I'm the one who points out colours for adverts, and they're like this, they're like the people like that. It's a moody job, but someone's got to do it, I suppose.
The first time I
I could
went
be helping people rather trying to rip them off, I suppose.
The first time I went to New York, I remember thinking that I really liked New York, and then I went to London.
Oh.
You
I've only been to
like London?
I love London.
London's brilliant.
I guess I don't know. I can do London for a day or two, and then I kind of want to get out of the place. But that's just me.
It's. I would say I love London as well, but it is a bit crowded. It's very big, and there are extremely many people. And as I'm diagnosed with ADHD and Asperger's, I do not necessarily react very well to that. I mean, it became too crowded very, very quickly.
So my wife and my daughter and I go to London on one of these trips, and we can separate anywhere. So we were staying on Warren Street, or we were staying in Vauxhall, or we were staying in Greenwich at different times. And any of these times, we can just decide mid trip somewhere. We'll go somewhere, and we'll just decide that she's gonna go over there. I'm gonna go over here. We'll meet up at this other place, and we don't have to have a car. That's just a bizarre concept for me.
Oh, right.
I think sometimes though it's like sometimes, I mean, maybe it's just me, but sometimes we don't always appreciate what's on our own doorstep, and when we go somewhere else we're like bowled over by the place, but
Right.
we don't necessarily always appreciate what's on our own door. I mean,
Public transport is fantastic in London,
Yeah.
I have to say, and I say that
that's
as a
one
Dane.
thing I will give London, that is one thing I will give London. That public transport there is really good.
It is. It's
way better than where I
absolutely
live.
And
No,
I say,
Shut up, dog! Damn it!
Well, FYI, Aron. Oh, he's gone. I was just going
The
to.
thing is, the thing
Sort of go out.
when I visited London, I mean, I've been to a number of cities with metros and underground trains. When I visited London, I found out I've never really been in a metro before. It was only when I went to the London metro that I realized now I've tried a metro. All the other stuff that I tried were just underground trains, and just.
I've got to say, as far as that goes, I would say London Underground is way better than Paris Underground, the Paris Metro.
The thing is, in London, the thing is, in London in the London Underground, you'll be thrown around in the trains that go way too fast, and you're cramped and you're uncomfortable, and it's all just absolutely awful. And that's how a metro is supposed to be. And the starkest contrast, the worst contrast. I mean, underground trains where you feel comfortable. Well, there is a lot of room, and the stations are just beautiful, decorated with fantastic lighting and everything. Is Moscow. The Moscow metro is just absolutely beautiful, with marble decorations everywhere, beautiful pictures. Chandeliers in the ceiling, and here comes a large train. If it's not rush hour, there's good room for you. You sit comfortably, and the train accelerates at a pace which is comfortable, and you just led to the next station. That's not a metro. That's an underground express train with comfort and room.
Well, here's something that
London
Aron would
is
have
a
noticed
proper-
in London.
London
Aron
is
would
a
have noticed on the floor, our crossings, it's got look left and look right. That's not because us Brits are idiots. Well, that's debatable, to be fair. That's because there's so many accidents of people looking the wrong way and walking in front of trucks, getting run over by black cabs and buses and whatnot.
Right.
So you should always wear clean underwear, as my father always said.
Experienced the subway in Paris, where all of the other passengers beside yourself are pickpockets.
Yeah, that was what put me off of Paris. I was like, if you just like, you're just sitting on the metro, and you're just looking around at everyone because you just know. I mean, I went there on my honeymoon with my now ex-wife, and someone actually attempted to pick her pocket while we were on there. So
wow.
And then I did the subway in Manhattan, of course, and I liked the trains that even into New Jersey and everything. I thought it was all quite nice, but I had to compare the New York subway and the tube in the UK. That the tube is just generally a better experience. Not quite so much urine.
Oh, ew. Well,
Did you
have to
use
say
any of the
that-
black cabs?
Well, maybe I have
something.
to. Maybe
That
I
says
have to
something.
go to Manhattan and change my view once again. Then that Manhattan is actually the proper metro, because metro or subways have to be as uncomfortable and toss you around as much as possible before they're actual subways. But maybe that's just me.
This is something about like underground railways that we judge them by the amount of bodily fluids that there are in the.
That's true.
Now, to give full credit, I did actually witness someone in the British tube station urinating on the wall
Oh no!
in the tunnels toward the trains, which is
That's awful.
a strange place to do that. And there's like hundreds of people walking by, and there he is, just looking at everybody as he's pissing on the wall. Okay.
Well, never mind, it's 2 feet away from him, isn't it? A live line.
We have a
But
really cool
Here's an
name
astonishing
for
fact that
doing
London
that.
Underground.
We have a really cool name for doing that. It's called wild peeing.
Wild peeing.
Yes, and you can get a ticket for that.
Well, we
But
have
that's what I
another
like
name
about-
for it. We
what I like
call
about
them
the group.
filthy gits.
We can all agree to meet up someplace, and everybody we can just take the tube everywhere, and it's just so easy to travel around and see everything, and then we all meet up at at the clubs in Camden, at 10 p.m. whatever, and it's all good.
No, sorry.
Okay.
We're just going to be serious, or I mean, whatever. Just for a small bit here. Will Dillerman. Now, Dillerman is actually something that I don't take offense to it. But it actually means a penis in Danish, sort of. But he actually raises an interesting point here, which is the question. You see, Denmark is actually not that much of a secular society as you might imagine, because we have a state church. That's just as you do, Jeff. But when I had when I made my very first live stream, and that was with Martima81, if you know him, it's a Swedish guy. He makes absolutely awesome videos. Great shout out to him.
I've heard of him. I don't think I've watched his channel actually, but I've heard the name.
You should. He makes good videos. He's taking on. Now the name escapes me, but never mind. Now the issue that I would like us to use to use a couple of minutes on is organized religion as we have it in Denmark and in Britain.
And
does
Holland.
it act? Probably also in Holland. So is religion state sanctioned to any extent in Holland?
We have a state religion, which is the religion the royal family adheres to, which is Dutch Reformed.
Right.
Okay.
So the argument I've heard a couple of times is that if you have state religion as we have it in our countries, it will kind of prevent the development that we've seen in the States, that we have private religious organizations that turn extremist pretty quickly. Now, Aron left, so I would actually really love to hear his take on this.
Yeah, well,
He's back.
definitely. Oh, he's back. We've definitely got his take. My person. I mean, I'm not sure because this is how I feel. Because I think it's like a similar thing with Turkey at the moment, which is always, the modern Turkey's always been officially a secular country, and very much held that banner up. But it does seem that a lot of the Islamists or whatever seem to be gaining more and more political power there.
So, Aron, did you hear all that we were saying?
Excuse me. You were saying that having a state religion actually keeps the state more secular?
Well, that's a sentiment that a lot of people will have, because if you look at Denmark, which has state-sanctioned religion, and the UK, which also has it, and the Netherlands, which also has it, we don't have private religious organizations like you do in the United States, who have that extreme extent of power.
So in Ireland, for example, where the Catholic Church runs everything, where the Constitution, cites the Trinity right away in the first sentence. The country is largely atheist now, because the religion tries to control everything, and it only creates problems. And then the populace has to rise against the religious rule and every mandate that the religion wants to put down. Especially like recently in their celebration of gay marriage and legalized abortion. And of course, the church is always against everything. But in the United States, where we're supposed to be secular, what it ended up doing was it allowed all these evangelical organizations to try to take over everything. And I don't understand why my own country doesn't appreciate, and most of them, the vast majority of them, have no idea what they're even talking about or what secularism even is.
No. Well, I think if
All
you
about the
have
money, mate.
if you have a sanctioned religion, people will push back. People who are not in that religion will push back on it. So that already creates some sort of secularism, because you're going to have more people speak up because they hate what the other religion is doing. So that at least that's my take on it.
Aron, I get what you're saying. However, as it is in Ireland, you have this huge, enormous religious institution behind it, which is the Catholic Church. If you look at, for example, Denmark or the UK, what you've got is one church which is based in one country. And even the United Kingdom, which is way bigger than Denmark, it's still only one country that can only exert its power in one country. And that's
obviously, I mean, if the official religion here is like the Church of England, would be the official. Although, even though historically there's always a lot of strange things there, because like in Scotland, like Presbyterianism was always a much bigger thing rather than like the CFA. But I kind of see what the arguments here, because if you look at, say, the UK in comparison to the US, it does seem, we don't seem to have like the levels of religious fanaticism. But I got to admit, I would still like to see. I still do not like the fact that the Church of England is guaranteed seats in the House of Lords, which is part of our Parliament. I still don't like the fact that they automatically are granted. I forget how many seats it is, but I think it was 18. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I'd still much sooner see them gone, or at least divorced from the state.
And after all, we have to, whether you're atheist or not in this country, we still have to contribute to the church through our taxes, unfortunately. But we get our door knockers here and our kingdom halls, and that. We've got a lot of them American style religions over here, the Jehovah's and the Mormons and that.
Well, I can tell you that. I mean, this is anecdotal. I get it, but like the small little town where I live, which believe me is not a particularly religious place. It's got three pubs, right? 3 bars, right? And it's got about 8 or 9 churches. Most of them know. We've got a place I live. We've got 2 Church of England churches, a Roman Catholic church, a Salvation Army church, United Reformed Church, a Baptist church, something called King's Community Church, which, from what I can tell, is evangelical. There's one other I'm forgetting as well, but Plymouth Brethren have got a whole hall somewhere. And yet it's like no one's here is religious. I mean, I know that's an anecdote. I know that, but it kind of makes you a place that's not religious, and a lot of people are probably more inclined to go out for have a drink than they are to go to church, and yet there's like 2 or 3 bars and like eight churches.
Well, where I live, there's only one church. I live in a tiny village in Norfolk. I was born and bred in Liverpool, where I managed to escape Catholicism there, moved to London for 15 years, and I've lived here for almost 20. And I go to church because it's a social hub of a village, unfortunately. Yeah. But I'll happily put a couple of quid in a collection plate.
I used to go
for meeting friends and that.
I used to have to go to church when I was a member of the Cub Scouts or whatever, and it was like a once a month thing. You had to do the church parade, which means you did some great big march up and then had to sit through the sermon for a couple of hours, which I'm pretty sure that was what put me off of Christianity quite early, quite frankly. But
Well, I think people are getting wise to these tricks they're pulling on the children now. I mean, you're seeing less and less of it in the schools, especially when my kids are in school. They're growing up now, but they had to attend it, and they questioned it like I did. I mean, they're quite secular, or they've got a logical mind anyway. Whereas you get a lot who will fall for it. And as I said earlier, it's all about the money, especially in America. Them con men on the TV, them televangelists.
oh, good Lord,
Terrible con men. It's all about money, about jets and mansions and things like that. And that's all it is. What does God need with money, to be fair? What does he want with all this money? What can he do with it? Unless it's a sky mall no one's telling us about.
Yeah,
An actual sky mall.
I mean, hypothetically speaking, if there is a God, an all-powerful, all-knowing God, what does he need with money? Exactly.
Well, here in the UK, the church roofs are always broken, aren't they? Or someone's nicked the lead off them, especially up north. That's the way it is right in England. It's always fundraising for the church for, a bit of plastering there or some rewiring there. But they raise thousands and thousands of pounds. But, it's never going to go away in our lifetimes. But I'm glad that you've got the likes of Matt Dillahunty and Eric Murphy and that who are pushing this, this atheism.
Can I just say present company as well?
And Aron, yeah, of course, yeah. Well, he was automatically included in that. But I'm just putting a couple of other names out there that are pushing
absolutely.
this, and especially across the States where it is on an extremist level in some cases. I mean, look at this Ku Klux Klan is still stringing up these poor black fellas to trees, all in the name of God.
You've got the NIFB that are openly preaching death to gay people. Yeah.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and you got the flat earthers. Most of them have had to become born again Christians because a dome didn't grow over the earth, did it? Someone put it there, so they've got to believe in a creation of some sort.
I think the biggest problem is that these people are also infiltrating in the government, and so.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
You recently did a show with Catherine.
I'm going to be back in 2 minutes, okay?
Yeah, I just got notice that James Randi is dead.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yeah, just found out.
Oh, man.
He died a few years ago.
No, he just died.
No.
No, he would.
What?
Just
Did he?
died.
Yeah.
I've checked on him regularly if he's still alive, and this must have been a recent event. Then
It was today.
Yeah, the last
you met
time
him, didn't you, Aron?
The last time I talked to him was very sad because I called him a few months ago, and I just called him to shoot the shit, say, hey, haven't heard from you in a while. How are things going? And he couldn't remember me.
Oh,
yeah, didn't he have a stroke?
Rip James Randi, my God.
17?
Yeah, well, I mean, he was 90 something, so yeah, it's not entirely surprising.
well, he wasn't exactly young, no.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, every time.
Well, I must have been getting mixed up.
Go ahead.
Go on, Aron.
Well, every time.
I must have been getting mixed up when he stopped. Sorry, Tlag.
Okay. It's my show. Dog Botherer. Go ahead.
I was just saying, it must have been when he stopped doing that £1 million challenge that I'm referring to. I didn't know. I thought he'd stopped that.
He did. He ran that for like 20 years before he stopped it. And he was the first famous person that I ever met. And I've had dinner with him a couple of times. I've been to his house a couple of times. I have his personal phone number on my phone.
Wow.
And every time I would see him at an event, He was always warm and welcoming, called me his friend, always waved, and very, 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 very friendly, very warm, and very accommodating. He granted me a number of private interviews and everything, and he was a very sweet guy. Oh well. That's why it's sad that the last time I called him, he was obviously he was obviously on the downward slide because he couldn't even remember. Yeah.
Oh well. Oh, awful.
It is a great loss.
That's bad news. That's really bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. I loved his talks on pseudoscience, the way that he did it, and partially used his magic tricks to do that as well.
Well, I would say personally, because obviously being in the UK, whatever, I personally find him a hero of mine because for about 20-25 years in the UK, we had to suffer through this con man called Uri Geller. And the reason he was in the UK, and I would say the reason he was in the UK for 20-25 years is James Randi chased him out of the United States because he exposed him for being the con man that he is. But somehow
twice he exposed him.
Yeah, and unfortunately, somehow he got over here for a number of years and was running his scams, including and I actually got to say, and they're one of the best shot downs of Uri Geller I ever saw was on there's a program called Fantasy Football League, which was like a sort of a soccer show with stroke comedy, and during the Euro 1996 championships, Geller tried to do this thing on screen where he said, look, if everyone watching now, everyone in the audience, everyone at home comes together now and wills England to win this match against, I think it was against Spain in the Euro 96, they will win. And the best takedown was the host said, Yuri, you're a Reading fan, aren't you? They never win. You know?
Oh yeah, Skinner and the deal, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was Frank Skinner who did that.
Jeff, do you remember which my favorite English football club is and why?
Yeah, it better be Southampton, but
no, it's not. I can tell you as much. It's Aston Villa.
Okay.
Can you remember why? There's a hint on my T-shirt.
Aussie, Napalm, yeah. Birmingham.
They've got a game in hand to my team, Everton.
Yeah, the lead singer of Napalm Death. That's his favorite football team. I mean, Death has to have. I mean, there's no other reason than that. The lead singer of Napalm Death. His favorite team is
Barney.
And we've got another competitor. By the way,
I would say Pops, I don't know if I told you this. I actually met a couple of members of Napalm Death at a gig.
Wonderful. We've got another participant in the live stream.
Hello.
Hey, Kate, how are you?
Oh, I'm well enough, I suppose. You know, all things considered. How about you folks?
Hi, Kate.
Hello.
Hi, Kate.
I'd be on camera, but I'm suffering a severe appearance deficit at the moment.
Nothing. It's Kate. Your hair.
How could that be possible?
You can turn on the camera.
You always look awesome.
You haven't seen me like an hour after a shower where my hair looks like an electrocuted douche ball. So,
Kate, every time you come up with that excuse and then later turn the camera on, you're okay. Come on.
If somebody that into sci-fi says they're having an appearance deficit, it means they're translucent or invisible.
Okay, a countenance deficit? I don't know. Whatever. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Hey.
Hello.
all I see is hair, and I'm bald, so I'm glad my camera doesn't work.
So is this an after show or something? I was just browsing Twitter and saw the link and figured, what the hey?
Yeah, it's an after party. I just did a live stream with Aron Ra, just like I did with you the other day.
Oh, right on. You know, Aron Ra's awesome. He knows this.
What beer did you sample?
I actually didn't. I don't really drink beer. It's kind of bitter for me, so I had Captain and Coke.
Okay.
That'll do.
One of
Yes,
these days, I'm actually going to track down those beers that you told me about there, and also the ones that you told me about that may or may not be good for me.
Yeah, I did give you a couple of recommendations. Those were the sour can't speak, half through Ammer Brughuis 11% Black Donald now. So I really look forward to when you're trying those Belgian sour fruit beers. I gave you some recommendations of.
Mm-hmm. I still have those in a text file for the next time I go out to a place where there might be, beer that's not Budweiser.
Right.
Well, you
right.
had your chance when you were in Dallas. I was treating everybody I could.
Yeah, the thing is, for Faithless Forum, no one told me how much extra stuff there would be. If I'd known that there was going to be that road trip to Austin, I totally would have made my plane flight a day later or something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to leave for a second here. I have to træde af på naturens vegne. I have to. That's what it's called in Danish. Træde af på naturens vegne, and to just put it bluntly in English, I have to go take a piss.
Yeah.
You've got to go see a man about a horse, have you?
So I'm not much of a beer drinker. The only time I drink beer is in the fall. Aron, you were in Holland. Have you tried Grolsch Bock beer?
I had Grolsch here in America, here in Texas.
Yeah, but do you have the Bock beer?
That I can't tell you because it's been so long.
It's it comes in tiny bottles.
Oh no, you're not talking about Grolsch Bock. You're talking about Bock, the brand name.
No, Grolsch Bock beer. This is made in the fall from the first harvest. It's dark red in color. It's kind of sweet, and it has a little bit more. Yeah, it has a little bit more alcohol than the regular lager they make. But I worked at the brewery. The brewery is in my old hometown, so. And the best way to drink it is the moment they put it in the bottle. You need to get it out. That's the best. And second to that is when they have it on tap. But that's
Yeah,
when you.
Aron, they still do. Are they legalizing moonshine in more places in America? Moonshine, is that getting legalized more in America?
I think so. Yes.
Because I know some places do sell it.
Yeah, I have bought moonshine before.
That's the most drunk I've ever got in my life. Actually, is on American moonshine.
Moonshine? I don't think I've ever been in the room with moonshine. I've heard about it, but
I was in Kentucky at the time, so
that's where you go. Yep.
You're on the wrong side of the
Well,
country.
it's licensed.
Well, I was there.
Well, it's licensed in.
Go on.
Yeah, sorry, lag.
Yeah, I know. Go on.
Go on, you crack on, Jeff.
No, I was going to say the reason
I was just saying. I know it's. It's all
right, I'll go, then you go. All right, okay.
Right.
Yeah, the reason I was out there at the time was actually last time I went to the States, which is about 18 years ago now. But I used to, as a hobby, do historical reenactments, and I used to do American Civil War. And yeah, I was on the right side of that one. Believe me, I was on the blue side, shall we say? But I actually we got offered to go out to Kentucky to do this big historical reenactment of the Battle of Perryville, and someone that night and allegedly this was supposed to be obviously a dry county in Kentucky, but there's moonshine flowing like running water, and yeah, I got seriously wasted on that. It's
Well, there's a special way of making it, isn't it? You got the I think it's the heads, the hearts, and the tails. The heads is basically goes into nail polish, and the tails. That's what. But a lot of the illegal moonshine is just all of it in a jar. Go blind if you drink it. But the proper stuff, and you can get it flavoured now because it's licensed in commercial on a lot of states, I believe. And you get some good flavours, and it still blows your head off.
So there are some versions of moonshine that are legal?
I believe so. Well, I bought it out there. There's actually shops that do sell it, and they sell it in the mason jars as well. I think that's just traditional, though.
Every time I hear about moonshine, it's always like there's some still hidden out in the woods that you hope the sheriffs don't find. So the fact that there's legal moonshine shocks me.
Yeah, up in Virginia somewhere in the Blue Mountains. It's tapped into some spring. But talking about civil war, it's a good point of what's going on over there now. Do you think if Trump is voted out, it's going to kick off in your country? I really feel for you guys at the moment.
I'm not even sure what to hope for anymore.
Well, you want the orange fella out and it to be peaceful.
Well, yeah, but I want more than that too. You know, I mean, there's a lot of issues that are very dear to my heart that, frankly, Biden won't address. So it seems just so hard in this country.
The problem is we have to put out the fire before we can start rebuilding the house.
Well, that's right, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I agree.
I feel like we're in a time crunch. You know, that's the problem. Is I don't feel like we have the time for a Biden presidency with the environment because we're already at a tipping point. We need him to be very aggressive on the environment, or we need someone besides him.
I was saying that in 2016. We did not have 4 years to go run screaming in the wrong direction.
Yeah. I've been saying that too.
By the way, Aron, I remember in 2016. That's when you guested Denmark, and we were asking you questions when you were having your talk at the Danish Atheist Society at that time, and you, it was very, very, very interesting because you told us about tendencies in the United States which were going in the direction of voting for Donald Trump, because then everything would be breaking down, and then you could build something new and better up. I'm not saying that you were endorsing that position, but you said that was one way of thinking of it.
Yeah, I don't remember all of that, but yeah.
Because and that's fair enough, because you're doing talks everywhere in the fucking world, so of course that's fair enough. But and it's not something I'm using against you or anything. But I do understand why one would have that sentiment. But it's part of a learning process that. Maybe that doesn't work, or maybe it will work. I don't know.
But to comment on what Bionic Dance was saying just a moment ago, yeah, Biden is not progressive. He's not interested in fixing anything except stopping the fucking fire that we're in right now. That's it. That's all. Yeah. The weirdest thing is that with all these people saying that, if Biden wins, then the leftists have won, the radical leftists.
Oh, good Lord.
Biden is on the authoritarian right. He is in no sense close to the left.
Completely agreed.
Yeah, and so what we have to do, and the only advantage with Biden is that one, he's not insane, and two, he understands that you have to go with the constituency, what the people want. Now, this is the same thing that Hillary did, and I hated Hillary a hell of a lot. But one thing I respected about her was that she said she had a personal position and a public position, and her personal position was against gay marriage. But she knew that her constituency wanted gay marriage, so she's going to vote with what the public wants, not what she wants. And while that meant that she was a bigoted prick, it also meant that she's going to hold her job seriously. Now, Biden's going to do the same thing. Unfortunately, Biden, just like Hillary, Biden is owned by the corporations. And that's a huge problem. But the constituency is overwhelmingly left. Most people are left.
I'll just say something.
Well, I've been sort of champing at the bit here. Because, I mean, when people talk about the will of the people and all that stuff, I'm like, okay, if you got half of the left screaming blue no matter who, and you got the other half screaming Bernie or bust, it seems to me that the where to get the most votes is obvious. But even so, I mean, let's suppose that Biden does get elected, as it seems likely. He's going to end up, forgive me, Biden is time in ways we can't afford. I mean, if he had promised to deal with the environment and make it so that the atmosphere won't be on fire by 2050, then I'd be like, it's easier for me to hold my nose and vote for the guy. But it sounds to me like he won't be saving basically all our lives, that he's spending way, way, way too longer than the Green New Deal would, to be able to fix things that need fixing now, where we can't wait.
He's old and he's corporatist, so it's going to be slow. At the same time, you have the Democratic Party actively, vocally, overtly admitting that they were lobbying against Bernie. They were open to vote blue no matter who, unless it's Bernie, and they kept and you had pundits on television from the Democratic Party saying, "How are we going to stop Bernie?" The
thing is as well is that Bernie. I mean, I know I've got a lot of respect for Bernie, but Bernie isn't even really that left wing. Well, I mean, by standards, but considering, because I think Britain as well, we missed an opportunity. I think with and unfortunately, partially from some of his own mistakes, but we missed an opportunity with Corbyn, and Corbyn was way to the left of Bernie, we missed an opportunity there, I think, big time on two occasions there with Want to know a funny thing? It's just sad. It just makes me.
Want to know a funny thing I discovered the other day? A funny thing. It's not. I'm not going to waging on the arguments or anything, but right now, did you notice that? I noticed that, and notice this next time you hear these two guys talk. Bernie Sanders has exactly, and I tell you, exactly the same accent, the same way to talk as Michael Cohen.
Who?
He has, yeah.
Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer who spent time in jail, has exactly, and I tell you, exactly the same accent as Bernie Sanders.
Well, the thing is that, that's a very New York Jewish accent that he's got going there. And half of my mom's family, because they're Jewish, have that accent too.
Yeah, and I've noticed that the Rationalizer has the same accent as Rob Halford.
Rob Halford.
You're talking my language there, Aaron.
Oh, is he speaking like that? Yes. Oh, sorry.
Well, Aaron, I have a question. you said about Hillary that she's bigoted, but isn't that how politicians should be?
No.
To keep your personal preferences at the door and do your job and do what your
Yeah. Keeping your personal preferences, yes, but not that you should be bigoted. That's what I was objecting to.
Yeah.
So Bernie swept the primaries, and it looked like he was going to make it. And then suddenly, everybody votes for Biden. Why? Because they were afraid of Bernie, because they don't want to fix things. Because we are owned. We're an oligarchy. We have been for the last few years. We are owned by a handful of very rich corporations and people. And they want the money to continue flowing the way that it is. They do not want Bernie. They'll take the status quo. They'll take the Hillary Clinton or the Joe Biden, but they do not want somebody on the anti-authoritarian left, because that means that shit gets fixed, and they can't have that.
Which is why I brought up your.
There's more to it than that, though. I mean, part of it was just Obama being a jerk. Like right before Super Tuesday, he got a whole bunch of people to drop out so that it stopped splitting the Biden vote, and then kept Elizabeth Warren in to split the progressive vote. And so on Super Tuesday, it was a bloodbath simply because of those behind-the-scenes shenanigans.
Yep. And so what has happened is that the Overton window has moved. So the ultimate thing, that the primary importance is, we know that if Trump remains president, we all remain fucked on everything. We have to replace the entire Senate. We have to replace the presidency. This has to be done first. If Bernie had won the primaries and North Carolina, if it had continued on that way, if Bernie had been the nominee, there would be more people voting for Trump who were afraid of Bernie, because they're more afraid of Bernie than they ever were of Trump, because Bernie will fix shit. And Trump will just take the blame. Trump will let 1% do whatever the fuck they want, and he's too stupid to know any better. Shut up, dog!
I have a question about what you just said. If, these people that would be voting for Trump that you described, are they from a certain demographic, or do you mean just Democrats in general, or not even Democrats? Can you be more specific?
A whole lot of Democrats who would not vote for Bernie no matter what the fuck. They're just not gonna. It's worse than the Bernie or bust. There's a whole lot of people that I saw in 2016, and I saw it again in 2020, where they're saying they will vote for it. They'll vote blue no matter who, unless it's Bernie. And they're just not going to vote for Bernie because they don't want to vote for the one guy who's going to start fixing things.
I wonder how they would have dealt with, say, Tulsi or Yang, actually.
Sorry for interrupting you. Would anyone want to leave the stream now? Because I really would love to have Shartan Rowan into the stream. One of my good friends from Norway.
I can take off. I got stuff I got to do.
I'll take off. I've got terrible lag, so.
Okay, Doug Butler, I'm gonna.
I'll watch from the sidelines. Can I just say it was great chatting with you guys? Thank you.
Bye.
See you on Twitter, Doug Butler.
Well, to be honest, I'll probably stay until
Thank you for
10,
joining,
15 minutes,
Doug Butler. I'm so happy to have got to know you now, and everyone follow Doug Butler. Doug Butler on Twitter.
Fun watching you guys get drunk.
And thank you for visiting my
live my pleasure. Thank you guys.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
So, nice talking to you, mate.
And we've got Shartan Rowan.
Shartan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm half pissed, half drunk. So
that's how it
really
should
complain.
Be. Yeah, that's how it should be.
Cheers. How are you all guys doing?
Doing fine. Aron, I had a question since we were on that topic. What is your take on the Lincoln Project?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
I had the same thing. So I had a couple of people, because I've been retweeting some of their stuff, which is absolutely hilarious and informative. But I had a couple of people come to me in DM on Twitter and saying, "Hey, be careful because the power they're gaining now, they're going to use against the American people when Trump is dumped." Do you see that as the same thing?
I'm seeing a handful of Republicans who realize that Trump is either going to take down the entire Republican Party, or they're going to have to find some way of branching off of this, off the wrong track of this roller coaster to try to salvage themselves. And what has happened with this is not just that Trump was an absolute disaster in all possible ways, and that's why we can't do with him what we did with George W. Bush. We can't just let him go and be bygones be gone. He has to go to jail. He has to be convicted.
I
agree wholeheartedly.
Now, yeah, we can't be forgiving about that guy, but it wasn't just him. Lindsey Graham has to die in humiliation, along with Mitch McConnell. You know, stake through the heart, whatever it takes to kill that guy. You know, silver bullets, I don't know what it is, but we need to get rid of him because he is the only person on the planet that I can think of is worse than Trump.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm
going to put
worse than Trump.
Bionic Dance, what'd you say?
I said Shatner's worse than Trump.
Shatner built.
Yeah, you know, Shatner.
Actually, I'm going to put a poll on Twitter right now, which says, "Who is more evil, Mitch McConnell or Donald Trump?" And
William Shatner.
William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Because
why are we hating on William Shatner again?
Oh no, it's not hatred. He's evil. He has to be stopped, or he'll destroy us all.
So the very definition of a hatred just defined there.
I've got this scary feeling that Shatner's going to win.
I want there to be a national blockbuster film about this administration, so that everybody knows that Mitch McConnell bragged early in Obama's administration that he was going to block everything Obama tried to do, simply because Obama's a black Democrat. McConnell's going to block everything. He's going to block every judge, not just that one Supreme Court nomination. He blocked 200 judges so that he could give the call to Trump. And so they lied and they countered themselves. They said that they would never do what they're now doing in record time, all because it's a shameless, unmatched plea for power.
Well,
it got so
it's funny
sickening.
You mention making a film out of it because I've been trying to cast that in my head for the last couple of days.
This is going to be interesting. So, Kate, I only put William Shatner in that poll because you.
I appreciate it.
Shatner will win this. You do know, Rick. You just realise this.
I remember.
I predict you getting a lot of questions going, did Kate put you up to this?
Oh, hey, Sartan, I'm so happy to have you back on. To be in a stream with you again, and thank you for.
Glad to be here.
Just sorry for this becoming a local Scandinavian thing, but have you ever heard any of the jokes that Danes make about Norwegians?
Yes, of course I have. It goes both ways, mate. It goes both ways.
Okay, I want to hear some Norwegian jokes about Danes. I really want to hear that.
That's going to be a problem translating it into English. I know.
Yes, I know, and the other way around, and the other way around.
You guys do that. The Americans will go play Scrabble in the corner.
I love Scrabble.
No, so like one of the standing jokes is like being Danish is like living in a basement underneath an apartment with a really good party in it.
Yeah, you're right. You stole our oil, so you have all the money, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Exactly.
Yes.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
we,
yeah, all right. So okay. So do you know how we did that? Like, because this is actually quite a fun story, and I just
Yes,
read this.
our foreign minister, our Ministry of State, as it would be in the United States, was fucking drunk.
He was something. He was on something. Yes, agreed. But here's the deal, right? So back in after World War II, Norway was poor as fuck. Like the Nazis did a number on us. So all we had was like wood and fish. That was everything that we had, and we had like big economic problems. We had the worst recession in Western Europe, and it was really bad. So to combat this, in 1956, we asked for our territorial waters to be extended further out than any other country in the world. 280 nautical miles off our coast.
Right.
Which no other country has their territorial waters that far out off their coast.
Actually, the Principality of Sealand might.
Yeah,
that's
they
true.
might. Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
true. That's true. That's true.
And you are speaking to a member of the aristocracy.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
For me, the funniest thing about Denmark is that a car in Danish is a bill, which in Dutch is a buttock. So when I drove through Denmark and I saw signs of bill gas, I never thought that there was money to be made of that.
Do you know that in Danish the word for perhaps is mosk?
Say it.
I do know moin is how they greet each other.
That's in southern Danish. That's in southern Jutland. That's only in southern Jutland.
I crossed the border, and when I walked in to have my paperwork done, everyone said moin. And I am from a part in Holland where that in dialect is how you say good morning. So I thought there's Dutch people in here. So I started talking Dutch and no one understood.
Yeah, that would be a problem. But they do that. They do that in the very northern parts of Germany as well.
Yes,
it's actually something that was imported from Germany.
Actually, when you go to Lübeck in Germany, the dialect they have there is almost exactly the same as it is in my part of Holland. We can just talk to each other in dialect, and it's pretty much the same, which is weird because there's
problem is I'm kind of
kilometers away.
Problem is I'm kind of biased on that point because both my parents actually came from Germany, and my mother.
I had friends in Lübeck who spoke literally the same dialect that I have in Holland.
My mother was studying in Lübeck. In the conservatory. So some of the jokes that we are talking about Norwegians, that we're telling about Norwegians, is that they have these cute names of films, of movies. So, for example, Jaws in Norwegian.
Haien.
What's that again?
Haien.
Haien. So that's the shark. But actually, it's not. Well, actually, it's not. In Norwegian, it's actually Kjempetorken.
Oh no, it's not. No, it's not the giant cod. Fuck you.
That's how the Danish joke goes, and the time. No one will get this. Sorry, this is going to be very much an internal Scandinavian thing. But the towering inferno How many have watched the Towering Inferno?
Oh, years ago, but I don't
Yeah,
really
me
remember
too.
much of that film. But years ago.
You must be talking to old people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, okay, I've worked in 4 video stores back in the day when VHS was still around, and I still never saw the movie. So
You haven't?
Kate, do you realize that already makes you old too? If you talk about VHS.
yeah, okay. I'm
Yeah, but we're talking about
44,
Towering
but I don't have
Inferno.
kids.
That was in the 70s.
Yeah, I was born in 75.
Yeah, that would be about when that movie came out.
I saw 16 whole days of 1975.
Right. So the Towering Inferno in Norwegian would be Brann I huset.
I mean, what the fuck, dude?
What
That's
does
not
that
Just
mean?
to say, I mean,
My
the,
house is burning down.
Yeah, exactly.
well, the joke we got in England about you guys is that it took us almost 1,000 years to get our revenge on you, and that's because over 1,000 years ago, we had you guys from Norway and Denmark send the Vikings over to ravage and just pillage our coasts and whatever and invade us. Did they not? You guys did not plan on England football fans, did you?
Football?
Yeah, you didn't.
I don't watch football.
Yeah, but the point being is like the whole thing is you guys like ravaged our coast, sort of the Viking raiders all those times. So you didn't plan on English soccer hooligans, did you?
Nobody ever planned for fucking English soccer hooligans.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of women planned for fucking British soccer hooligans.
I never planned to fuck them.
Okay, so I just want to...
No. I think we need to talk to the Bionic Dancer a bit more about this. This is getting interesting. No, fuck it.
I was just being snarky and punish. Never mind.
No, it's okay.
No, I mean, if you want to hear some updates on the poll that I just put on Twitter, which is who's more evil, Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, or William Shatner? I'm so sorry, Kate. So sorry. William Shatner got 0%. It's 30% for Donald Trump and 70% for Mitch McConnell.
Kate and I will address that 0% once we're off the stream.
How long did you intend the poll to be up? Is it still active?
It's in 24 hours as polls on Twitter are usually.
I'm not ready to accept defeat yet.
Fair enough.
Well, this is a bit like how I'm sure, like you said here earlier, Critical Cripple Day for the myself and Mum are Atheist had a little bit of a shindig with him over the best sci-fi franchise, and me and Amanda were winning with Star Wars, and then all of a sudden, like, a load of votes coming in. Like, Dave, how many soccer accounts do you have? And he's like, none, I promise. Really?
I think Dave has a couple. He's also the guy that I've been in a live stream with for the longest time. I think it's a week now. It's still running.
Which one is that? Sorry again.
He's doing a test stream, and I'm annoying him by every once in a while still posting in the live chat.
And who's doing that again?
Dave, Critical
Cripple.
Oh, right, okay. Anyway, Shartan,
yo,
can you take another joke about what Norwegians call films?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you can. Okay, so it's originally it was a Dirty Harry movie, but no one will get that. So Red Heat.
Oh yeah, Schwarzenegger and Belushi.
Exactly. Red Heat in Norwegian. That would be Fjell åker med kostan.
What?
Why? What does it mean?
I didn't even hear what he said. Didn't make any sense.
That's fjällåker med kostan.
Ah, okay. Mountains and coasts.
Yeah, well, no, it means in Danish it's a Russian dude cleans up in Chicago, and that would be the translation of the actual name of that film in Danish.
So now I'm curious. Kate, you're more in the northern part of the U.S. Aron is in the southern.
Not
No,
exactly.
I'm in San Diego, Southern California. I used to live in Seattle and Vermont, but I'm not in the north anymore.
Ah, okay. But
You
do you
usually
have,
live in
do you have
Seattle
something-
and Vermont. Are they in different parts of the country at the same time?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm
must
saying
have been very.
I was raised in Vermont, and then I moved to Seattle, and I spent 20 years in each place.
Ah, okay.
But do you have something like that in the US
God.
where one part of the country?
Oh, my dog just went haywire over here.
Yeah, I think you were asking something about preferring one part of the country to another.
Yeah, mocking the other part of the country.
Well, I mean, okay, Vermont is very muggy in the summer, very humid, and in winter it's painfully cold. So I definitely preferred Seattle, except that the clouds eventually started getting to me and I was very depressed. So I moved to a nice and sunny place like San Diego. And the only thing I regret is that it's not as pedestrian friendly as Seattle. Other than that, I love it.
I don't think you got what I asked, but
Kate, you can get Mexican Coke, which is
Yes.
sweetened with actual sugar.
Yes.
I absolutely love that. I mean, it may be just a detail, but these are the small things that really get to me. I that just went straight to my heart when you were telling about Mexican Coca-Cola, which is sweetened with actual sugar and not with a corn syrup.
Well, you want to know the sad part is the first time I tried it, I thought it tasted weird. I mean, that's kind of sad. That speaks a lot about how much I'm used to the high fructose corn syrup, you know? But we are within screaming distance at Tijuana. So if we want something Mexican, we can get it.
Wonderful.
And I don't mean hookers.
Love it.
I'm sure someone there is going, Mexican hookers, Kate, you can get those, can't you? That's not what I'm talking about. Knock it off.
No, love it. I mean, I absolutely love that detail.
Yeah, one of these days when the COVID is done and we can actually go to other countries again, I'd like to visit Tijuana. And my parents have a house in Oaxaca, so I'd like to visit that sometime too.
Right.
Well, I was probably the first person in this chat to realise that my trip abroad was getting cancelled this year because early on in the COVID, I was supposed to be going to China this year, and then that's where it broke out. So,
I've got to tell you something. I've had a whole bunch of trips canceled this year. I mean, I was supposed to have gone to 3 or 4 other countries. But the first one to get canceled was actually canceled a year ago in November. I was scheduled to go to India in January for the World Atheist Convention in Vijayawada. And they also wanted me to speak. The funding of this was that I was going to be speaking at a school in Delhi. And so I set it up to be in January so I could make that other event. And then the guys that was setting it up says, well, it's unfortunate that I won't be in Delhi when you arrive. I'll be in China. Gee, it would be great if you come speak at my school in China. And I said, well, if I have to fly halfway around the world to get there and you're paying me enough that I could cover this, I can just fly the other half around and make a complete trip around the world. So that I would be stopping in London, in Dubai, in Delhi, and then the city in China, and on my way home. And the city in China, I remember that this was all canceled in November because I couldn't come up with the funds that they were offering. But I was supposed to be in Wuhan in January of
Wow.
this.
Well, that was a lucky break. I bet you think that was an act of God, huh?
Yeah, I was just,
I'm going to say, if that had gone ahead and you had been the person to bring COVID into the United States, you'd never heard the end of it from the Christians.
Aaron, the comment that I just put on my on the screen there is actually my bonus son, which is actually my stepson. He's the son of my ex-wife who she had before I married her. And it's called a bonus son because in Denmark we actually have words for family members, sons, daughters who are not biologically related to you, but being not just stepsons and stepdaughters, all that, but bonus sons, daughters, and all that. Because if you get well along with them, you don't want them to be stepsons or stepfathers, stepmothers, and all that. If you get along, they are bonus sons and daughters and all that. So I want to say hello to you, Aron, from my bonus son, Aslak.
And also in the live chat, Randolph Richardson popped in. He wants us to say hi from Randolph and Neil.
And Randolph would actually like to join. So,
well, again, I can go if no one else wants to.
Yeah, I have to go too because I have other projects that I have to jump on.
I don't have to go. Before you go,
okay.
So I've got to say something to Aaron before he goes. But
what's that again, Jeff?
I said I've got to just say something to Aaron quickly before he goes.
Yeah. All right. Go then.
Because I think it's the first time I think Aaron and I have been hanging out together, and I have to say this to you: you were a big part of my. I was a pagan, but you're a big part of me coming into atheism, and I definitely appreciate that. What you do. Got to say, I would really, really love to get you on my channel at some point, if you were willing to. But I just want to thank you for everything you do, Aaron, and especially for pushing Kent Hovind's shit in, because I got a real kick out of that. So yeah, I definitely just wanted to say how much I appreciate what you do before you go.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is remove Jeff from the stream. See you, Jeff. Love you. Always remember to make this possible.
Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Yeah, no worries.
And
it was the first time I've ever met Jeff. We've never met before. First time.
That's
a huge problem. You two guys should go together. I'm throwing Jeff off the stream now and just adding Randolph.
Randolph.
Hey, Randolph, how are you?
Hey, hi, Aaron. Hi, Aron. Sorry. Hi, Peter. Hi, Bionic Dance. Hello, Card-chan. I'm saying your name wrong, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
How do I say it properly?
It's mostly because I want as many people who wants to be on the stream with Aaron as possible to get on my show.
All right. Well, I'm literally at the blood donation clinic now, and going to be meeting Neil, the 604 atheist here. I'm sure if he was here, he'd say hi. So, hello to everyone from both of us.
It would be.
The thing about those blood donation places, they always ask the personal questions like, whose blood is this, and where did you get it?
Well, we're in Canada. They don't ask whose blood it is, but they ask all that other stuff.
It's kind of like when, if a person donates a kidney, they're a hero. If you donate 5, you're a psycho who needs therapy. I mean,
one thing I really enjoy about Bionic Dance is that she's got a great way with words.
Yes, I have my way with words.
What you should do to get your kids to behave on Christmas is to buy a bunch of empty boxes to put under the tree, empty packages, so it looks like presents. And then when they misbehave, you throw one in the fire.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, no. They'll never forgive you for it.
Some woman answered that to say, but what if I run out of kids?
Oh, that's terrible, and I love it.
Aron, before you head off, can I show that video that you did with Catherine Stewart? I noticed that a lot of people haven't watched that. I really think that's a video they need to catch, because that was a great video.
Yeah, anytime I let off the mute button, the dog barks. So
yeah, and
that's an amazing dog.
And I have to say, when your dog barks, mine runs for the door. She goes and she just stands at the door and she barks. She's like, "Who's this motherfucker in my house barking at me? What the fuck?" And she's standing there now, guard, just waiting for your dog to come fucking running in.
All right, so I'm gonna have to bail.
Hey, Aron, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on my show. Thank you so much for coming on the after party.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to you later, sir.
And
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you later, Aron.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hopswatch, on this show, it should always be a greeting and an exit with cheers of some kind of drink, no matter what it is, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Given what you cover, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we could throw Dark Brother in again if he's still there.
Randolph, quick question. When is the video going to premiere on your channel?
Which video?
The one that I just sent you.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I just finished with clients, and then when I get back to my office, I'll watch it. I can't watch this stuff.
You were in it.
I have to take another piss, so.
Oh, is it the Benny Hill musical one?
The home improvement video.
With the Benny Hill music?
Yes.
It's already in the playlist. Actually, we created a new playlist, so it's in both of them.
Yeah, but you have to upload it to your channel to get some views. I mean, it's on a channel that no one subscribed to, and.
Well, if you want us to re-upload it, I'll happily do that. So that's not a problem. I just I like giving credit to. Well, I'll link back to the channel it came from then. Okay.
No problem. But you should upload it and see if you can get some subscribers before you start doing actual shows. That would be a good thing.
Oh yeah. We're very much in favor of letting the subscribers grow generically on their own, and we think it'll probably go quite well that way. But we're definitely not going to say no to any marketing.
Yeah. So and it's a great thing you're doing these videos, because as you
really enjoyed it, huh?
People watch it, and it's, well, to be fair, it's
we see the view counts. We're delighted people tuned in live with very little advance notice. It was fantastic.
The next time Neil is beating something with a crowbar, would you please not go stand in front of him? Because if that goes wrong, we're not going to have a show.
Oh, I was paying very close attention to what's going on, and remember there's one point where I told him to step back twice, and the second time, I was holding it, stopping it from falling. Once I knew he was far enough back, I let it go, but I had control of it, even though it may not have looked like it. I'm very careful on these kinds of things, but it made for some really good video footage, because it looked
fun to watch.
It looked a little bit dangerous too.
It was a lot of fun to watch, both live and the remastered version.
Oh, the Benny Hill one was great. You speed it up; it just fit perfectly. That was brilliant.
So I actually am gonna go, because I'm actually I'm starting to feel a little, I don't know, tired. I guess I got a flu shot earlier today, and I think it's affecting me.
Oh yeah, I got lots to drink and get lots of rest, and you should be in good shape by tomorrow.
All right, I'll catch you later.
Take care.
Kate. Yeah, Randolph.
Yeah.
He's not wrong, mate. You make some great content. And I have to thank you. You were the first guy that followed me on this new Twitter account. You were the first person to follow me. So,
Oh wow! But you're welcome. I'm glad. Unfortunately I don't get to watch everybody's videos. There's just not enough time in the day to keep up with everything. But I try to go into these live chats as I can and watch as many videos as I can. I'll often have videos playing while I'm working. It's turned out to be a good replacement for South Park, because South Park can't even keep up with the content output volume. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, you've got a neat avatar there with the hat, the Pope hat on the dog there.
Can I just say to the 3 reprobates above you, Randolph is going to give blood. If you want to give blood, give it a week at least. Because I think your blood alcohol content is pretty high by now, guys.
Randolph, I'm planning.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm going to do one with Kenneth Copeland and Trump.
Okay.
Think that's a good combination for some comedy.
COVID-19.
Yeah. Feel free to put a few more unknown people in there too.
I command.
You got a few shots. You got a few shots.
It's over. It's over.
You've got a few. You should bring in some other politicians as well once in a while. Like you could bring in the guy with the messy hair in the UK. What's his name? I forgot. But
Boris Johnson.
He's a lot smarter than Trump, but obviously. But you could have his head poke in once in a while. Obama could poke in on something when they talk about racism, and you could have them popping in different parts of the screen while those two guys are going at it. It would be even better.
I could throw in a Dutch guy, Wilders.
There you go. Yeah, throw in unknown politicians too. Yeah.
How about Mark Stephen Led from the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses?
Who's he?
Oh, you don't know the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses?
No. So so here in Holland, those are the only ones that will come to your door and ask you to have a chat. And they have not come to my door since I think it was in the late 90s, because I knew they always came on a Sunday morning. So I decided to go to the door wearing a T-shirt that said, "I'm the son of the devil." Other than that, I only wore my underpants, and I had one hand in my underpants when I opened the door. And
They've probably seen everything.
They take notes, and they will note your name. So whenever I move, they'll just look at the nameplate on the door and would just move along. They never rang my door.
You're painting quite a picture here, mate.
I got to go in about a minute here. Dog bother. I meant to ask, how many subscribers are you up to now?
Oh, I don't know. So don't even look at that.
Okay. I hope it's more than one.
642, I think.
Well, a lot of people retweet things. I like to dive in head first and see where it takes me. It normally ends up in a bun fight.
641, actually.
On Twitter, 230.
That's more than me.
And he's helping me bash the stupid.
Well, last I checked, I'm at 128. That was a few days ago. So I'm happy with that. Thank you, everyone. It's good to see you again. You too, Jeff. It's just popped back in here.
Nice talking. I thought I'd pop back in for a couple of minutes.
Say hi to Neil.
I will do for all of you. And I got to go because my appointment's coming up pretty soon here. All right, take care.
Enjoy your cup of tea and a cookie.
Oh, yeah, we get a whole load of cookies, actually. Yeah. All right, take care, guys.
Take care, Randall.
Cheers, man.
The worst thing about donating blood is the fucking iron pills that you have to take afterwards that turns your poo fucking black.
Well, I haven't donated blood for a while, but a little secret is you have a little fridge round the back of the counter where they dish out cans of Guinness if you want it.
Oh, right. So
That's in the UK.
You'd expect your poo to go black anyway. Is that a point?
It'll just be cup of tea. That's all. I prefer a can of Guinness.
Well, I've got to say actually that generally, whenever I get a blood test, whenever I get like a test or whatever, it's like generally tell me there's too much blood in my Guinness stream.
Right. Wow. I just noticed I'm.
You're absolutely pissed, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I mean, I've been on a live stream with Aron Ra, for fuck's sake.
Great show, Hoppy. Great show.
Yeah, you did great one. You did great there.
And Aron, of course, is a legend. So
yeah,
he'll always bring entertainment to the show, as you know, or as you've worked out today.
Wow. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to.
Being that you're quite drunk now, this is a good opportunity for me to ask you: would you agree to do an interview with me on my podcast?
Yes, anytime.
Nice. This weekend, you free?
I've got my kids over the weekend, but late at night after 10 would be fine.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Sure thing.
I'll hit you back over Twitter, mate. I'll DM you, and we'll see if we can get something done later Friday night.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to.
Fucking amazing, mate. Fucking amazing. All right, guys, I got a jet to. I think I got something to do tomorrow. I don't know.
All right, guys.
See you later, mate.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Take care. God bless and all that.
See you later.
Wrong crowd,
Say
right?
some bless.
I had to. Sorry. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Just.
Yeah, I got to drop off as well. Need to catch some sleep, and I'm doing a test show tomorrow, so need to be awake in time again.
See you,
Dog Brother, you want to help out with the test?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
I'll
shoot you the link on Twitter.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
And Hopswatch, if you want any tips and help on live streaming, shoot me a DM. Gonna go for it. I'm in the same DM group with you, so
I'll remember you.
Okay.
Yeah, sure thing.
And,
wow.
and send that email to Godless Cranium.
Yeah, sure. Yes, I will.
Yeah,
I will.
And you might want to tell him that if he has my email address on there, it might be better to remove it, because if people are thinking that that's his email address, then
right.
I wouldn't want to get his emails. That doesn't feel good.
Imagine how much hater in them things, Peter.
Okay, I'm gonna hop off. Thanks for having me, and catch you guys later.
Yes, man.
See you, Pete.
See you later, mate.
Okay, bye-bye.
I think you guys need to call it a night as well. Hoppy does anyway. He's had it.
I'm getting wasted as well, but
great show. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, right. So, last thing I'm going to say, always remember to drink responsibly. Dark Brother, if you're still here, you want to say some last words?
No, just thanks, guys, and the people who watched, and Aron and Peter and Jeff, of course, and Katie, and everyone was here. Dave?
Jeff, any closing comments?
Not really, no. Just as you say, drink responsibly, unlike I've been doing tonight. So.
Right, and unlike I've been doing tonight as well. So, ending the broadcast here. Thank you, everyone, for watching. This has been absolutely awesome. Love it. Cheers. Everyone, bye-bye.
Cheers, Happy. You're on the up, mate.
Bye.